Good evening. I have some Midnight Morrowind today.
Good evening.
Um, so as you know, last week, my very last game stream for 2024 was my very first Morrowind stream for 2024 and my last one. But here's my first Morrowind stream of 2025. It was both my last game of 2024 and now my first game of 2025. We attempted to explore some of the province mods last week, and today we'll be looking at Tamriel Rebuilt, which of course is the mainland province mod for the Morrowind province. Specifically, their latest release, amongst several other updates to lands they've already released prior, got some updates, but they also updated the Firemoth quest from the original Bethesda DLC, and I want to see the new Tamriel Rebuilt version of Firemoth. So that's all we're doing tonight. We're just going to explore that little island. Basically, Firemoth is an old Imperial fort on a small island off the coast of Vardenfell, and it was attacked and conquered by a Lich Necromancer, and now the Empire wants to retake it. So, the original Bethesda quest was interesting. There were a lot of there were a couple companion character knights who could join you that died way too easily. There were like hundreds of skeletons and some rats, and you fought through the island, then the fortress, down into the mines, and then eventually, after hundreds of skeletons, you eventually met the necromancer. Um, I want to see what Tamriel Rebuilt has done to that, so let's switch over to the game and get started. We're going to do the same thing we always do with a throwaway character. I haven't loaded the kids mods on this installation because so far the kids mods have not been brought to the province mod work. So it would be inconsistent seeing kids all over the island and then not on any part of the mainland. So that's it's gonna look a little different than Morrowind as I've played it before this install. Also, for consistency with the other province mods, I haven't turned on the unfinished land for the Tamriel Rebuild project for mainland Morrowind. They have options to see the unfinished land for their province, but because Cyrodiil and Skyrim projects don't do that, I've opted out of doing the unfinished land. There's no more flying around ghost areas for consistency with the other projects. Obviously, that means we have huge stretches of ocean where there shouldn't be, where there eventually won't be ocean. Years down the road. I mean, it took many years just for Cyrodiil and Skyrim to release a little bit. So we're not doing the full quick start.
Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
We're not doing the full quick start. We're going to do the part where we get to walk off the boat just for a little bit of added realism. Because once I go get my development cheats, my dev cheats crate that I use on all the streams, and shenanigans start, we won't have the option for realism anymore.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Now, in the Morrowind lore,
You better do what they say.
This guy, Job, becomes a legendary cliff racer hunter and becomes a saint of the temple after the events of the game. We don't get to see that here. We never see him again in this game. So we're starting in the little village of Sedanine, as always.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and it'll show you to the census office.
Hold on. Hopefully I've solved the audio issue. That was coming in way too
Let's
loud.
go. Move it along.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
We want to retake an Imperial fort. Actually, let's be a cat person today. We're gonna be a Kaji. They're legendary. Yeah, let's go with this guy.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Now, we're retaking a fort, right? So, let's see, Crusader or Witch Hunter. Let's go Crusader.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
We're fighting skeletons. Ritual could come in handy. Will be the ritual for our side.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct. Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Okay.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Salasgravius.
They're still talking a bit too loud. So let's try there and see what happens. We're not going to loot the room. There'll be plenty of loot when we get to the fortress. We will take the ring, though. He'll definitely need a wardrobe update in a minute. Okay.
I really don't have time for this, so make it quick.
2 things to get before we find the boat to Firemoth. We're going to start here and slightly upgrade my look. And there, the robe I think looks good on him. Alright, one more thing to get before we begin our quest. we need to go over to the lighthouse, to my special box of cheat utilities. Because I always bring them on Morrowind shenanigans adventures. So, let's go fun. Also, it looks like my game is running a little choppy. Not too terrible. It's good for tonight, but I'll have to adjust that before the next stream. The fix for that is easy, but it takes a little time, during which I'll have dead air, so I'm not going to do that during stream. Here's our weapon, and we'll just take all the rest of the stuff. Well, we want to have the utility ring actually active. And we just bugged out, which happens sometimes, but the way to fix that is just to load into a new cell. And if you see this, we're working fine again. We're working normally.
I'm waiting.
Alright, so we got the stuff. So let's find the boat to Firemoth. But before I do, let's just... We're saving just in case, because we learned last time that we are crash prone. So there should be a way, there's supposed to be a way to activate the quest here. I don't know who I talked to though. Worst case scenario, we can always just brute force it and fly to the island. A regular guard probably wouldn't know. Excuse me a moment. I'm gonna look this up online real quick. Celis Gravius. Okay. Alright. Hopefully it starts the same way as it does in vanilla Firemoth. Which according to my Google search I just did real quick, we're supposed to go all the way back inside the office and talk to Celis Gravius.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely need to fix the choppiness before the next stream. It's not too terrible. It's still playable right now. Now that's Socius or Gala. Where's Celis Gravius? Oh, he's the last guy, isn't he? Yeah, that's Celis Gravius. Let's do all his chat. I'm just clicking through real quick. Yeah, no mention of Firemoth. Let me see if they've let me see if Tamriel Rebuilt has released documentation on this. give me one moment. Give me a couple minutes here. Not seeing anything there. I'm trying to see here if I'm just looking on the Tamriel Rebuilt website real quick to see if there's any I definitely want to try and get OpenMW working again soon. Okay, that doesn't say where to pick up the, Alright, here's a page specifically about the overhaul of Firemoth. I'm just trying to read through this real quick so as not to waste too much time. Hopefully this will tell us where to pick it up. Okay, so this also doesn't say where to actually start the quest. Alright, let's see if there's anything in the forum. I need to know how to start this quest if I'm gonna play it. Or we could, you know, just dive in and fly to the island and then we won't actually get the whole new version of the story. Okay, nothing here. Let me see here. I'm wasting valuable time here. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any documentation other than you pick up the quest in Old Ebenheart. So if I can go back to where I read that, hopefully we can at least get a person's name. Alright, so there's a Lord General Cecilia Victrix. But where in Old Ebenheart is she located? Well, we have a name now. So it looks like we'll be hitting Olden. Looks like we'll be heading out to Old Ebenheart first. We could just fly into the castle. I do kind of want to start the quest legitimately to get the story. We could just fly into the Old Ebenheart castle and look for her, because she's in the upper levels of the Imperial Legion castle. Well, not the castle, but the fort. Yeah, we're wasting time. Let's just fly over Let's fly over to Old Ebenheart.
Go ahead, stranger.
And find this Lord General. And if she doesn't have the Firemoth topics, then we'll just brute force it and go there ourselves. Let me just open up the map real quick. Yeah, I do see Firemoth on the map, so let's get the flying ring going. So, in the documentation I just read on the Tamriel Rebuilt website suggests that you should still be able to get the quest from Celis Gravius in Satanin, but we just learned that we can't. So yeah, hopefully we can pick it up from Old Ebenheart. And on the left, you'll see us passing by Castle Ebenheart and Vivek City. And then Old Ebenheart should be on the right across the channel here. That big tower. I think we're going to drop in at the top of the tower, and because I think that's the fort. No, that's not the fort. We're loading. I do have high levels of distant draw turned on, so loading's going to be an issue sometimes. Alright, we're coming up on Old Ebenheart. That's this big city we're approaching. Maybe the tower is the fort. I'm hoping, at least. I just wasted like 15 minutes trying to read documentation that doesn't exist. Talos' tower. And that's trapped, so let's see. There's a way to get around traps. If I can get into here. Let's start by disarming that trap. And once we're inside, we can take the ring off. The flying ring. We want to keep the utility ring. Alright, we are inside the castle now. And why is there this big beam of light? I don't remember this. Is this new? Is this a holy light from Talos? Oh man, he just took me to jail. Well, at least we're in the headquarters now, but we're all the way at the base. Alright, let's try this again. We're gonna fly up to the tower. Our general's gonna be at the higher levels of the tower, right? So, maybe not all the way up to that. We'll work our way down the tower, but we won't talk to anyone until we see the general. We're gonna go back into the now untrapped door. That's an interesting curiosity. Let's get back into that door. If we can get back into that door, we can try going down again. This time we're not going to talk to anyone until we find the general. Okay, non-functional door. These doors are non. Okay, let's work our way down. Lots of Imperial battle mages around here.
You won't escape me that easily.
Okay, maybe this was a bad idea. We're gonna work our way up from the bottom of the tower to find this, Wow. Okay. Well, we're in the Imperial Legion headquarters. Shouldn't be...
Excuse me. Did you say something?
Which is a big place. We need to find... the,
Serve the Emperor and
we need to find the Lord General, who should be on the upper levels. So we're just gonna keep working up until... we want to keep going up.
What, stranger?
Ah!
What's this about?
Cecilia Victrix, we found her.
King and justice, citizen.
Alright, so she's the commander of the Imperial Legion in Morrowind. And I'm not getting the option for going to Firemoth without first joining... Maybe we have to join the Legion first, but I'm not doing that. Let's just go over to the island and see what's new. Let's find a way out. Let's find our way back out of here.
Serve the Emperor and the Emperor's law.
I like his armor. But we're not gonna do a steal. Tamriel Rebuilt and the other province mods do have some nice armor sets, some adaptations of the and reimaginings of the original armors. Okay. Let's go flying again. And we're gonna fly directly to Firemoth Island. We're doing this. We're gonna brute force this. We're gonna do this our way. Give me one moment. It proved to be not too difficult to find her once we got inside the main section of the fort. And there I was, trying to pull shenanigans. Oh well. Let's head over. And it's raining. This will give us a nice spooky setting for battling on an island overrun by undead. We're going to fly over the island a little bit. Because if we can find the dock where the original quest started, we can do the part where we fight through the whole island. Whereas if we just drop in on the fort, we'll be skipping some of the content. We're already skipping a bunch of the content because we couldn't find the trigger to activate the quest legitimately. So here we are, I guess. So there's the fort itself. The island looks a little bit smaller than it did back then. Here's a boat. I'm guessing this boat represents where we're supposed to start the quest. Couple mud crabs. Let's drop in on the island. Well, that boat is actually okay. I'm assuming that boat is where the fast travel to get into the quest, but the ramp goes straight down into the water for some reason. Okay. Intriguing. Let's see if we can get on the boat and look for answers here. And the boat itself, the Chrysanthropus. Interesting. But the boat itself looks like it actually might be a shipwreck. Interesting. Well, that's useless to us because Khajiit can't wear helmets, but we have and we have a two-handed weapon right now, so the shield's useless to us as well. But here's our new armor piece. Let's put the robe back on over it. Because that armor piece isn't particularly impressive. Let's explore this little boat first and see if we can learn anything. Okay, so I think we are dealing with a shipwreck here. Oh man, we are now officially stuck in geometry. There's a collision toggler. It's been a while, let me look that up. We're stuck in geometry right now. Alright, So now that should... We'll just... This room is poorly designed from a geometry perspective. That should resolve the issue. So now... Remember, we have our utility ring, so we can breathe underwater. Let's take these weapons. Wow, there's enough weapons here for an army. Or a small army. We don't water breathe. We have unlimited water breathing because we have the utility ring on. So we have at least have that going for us. Let's raid the let's obviously they have no use for this wine, so let's loot the wine. We'll take all the pillows as well, because why not? Actually, this may not be... Yeah, most of the stuff is worthless. That could come in handy. How many pillows are hiding on this ship? Oh, we're not here to raid pillows. But this is definitely a crashed merchant ship. Yeah, that does not look good. How does it look? Yeah, that does not look good on its own. We either need to find the other one of the pair or not wear it. I can't imagine that bread would be good anymore. That one's got a slightly higher value, not that it matters to us. Alright, I think we've spent enough time over here in this part of the ship. There, we can go into the other end of the ship, though, and explore that end real quick. Yeah, it looks like there was a fight here. We did pick up a nice map of the Empire. We'll take that. We don't need any more pillows. Good to know there's a nice rest stop. Interesting. It's useless, but we'll take it anyway. Okay, so this is documenting the attack on Firemoth. Lots of undead emerging. They are evacuating. Um, okay, so that's the journal of the captain. And they talk about how the Firemoth was on siege. And how they tried to evacuate and couldn't get away. Okay, that's interesting. Well, that's everything useful up here. So we know a little bit about what's going on now. So, yes, this ship does add some context to the story already. Now, if we can just head towards the island, where do we want to start our... retake? Let's start over here. Okay. So there's pathing here. Do we want to actually start over by that guard tower thing? Alright, so there's the beginnings of the skeletons down there. But I kind of want to start over on that end and start with that little guard tower over there. So first, let's go back to the ship and drop a mark so that we can retreat in a hurry if things go wrong. As we clear out each area, we can move the marks forward. Alright, now we should be able to get back on the ship. Also, that guard tower that we saw over at the other end of the island, that's new. So, once we get things going here in a moment, we should finally start to get into some action shortly. Let me just get back on the ship real quick. I don't know why it's not letting us get back on the ship, but let's just do things the easy way. So let's drop a mark. That way we can retreat in a hurry if we have to. Now, let's swim over to that guard tower over there. And we'll start our Firemoth reconquest over here on this end. You know what? Let's bring out the bodyguards. Now let's check out the loot that this first group of skeletons gives us. And we'll collect the bone meals so that we can see how many skeletons. We can keep track of our kill count if we collect the bone meals. Alright, we're not going to dispose any more corpses. That's taking too long. We're just going to take their stuff. Now let's see. So this is called the Sulphur Watch Keep.
Thatcher.
I'd be long dead by now if I didn't have the cheat utilities. That's for sure. But it still takes too long to fight directly. I can see there's going to be lots of cool weapon loot to be had here. Let's go up first because that's finite, and then we'll go down and see what's waiting in the basement here of this tower. Okay, so nothing special about the lighthouse in particular. I was calling it a guard tower this whole time, but when we entered we saw it's called lighthouse. So let's go down into the basement now. Maybe there will be some secrets there. But yeah, the lighthouse is definitely new to this version. Okay, why isn't it letting us go downstairs? more geometry stuck, I guess. Any of these things actually worth anything? Oh, an emerald. We gotta take shiny stuff, of course. Okay, that's all there seems to be down here in the basement of the lighthouse. So let's go ahead and start making our way to the main fortress. And those guys outside respawned, even though I disposed of the bones. You know what? We're not going to worry about looting at this point. We're just going to fight our way through. Because we've wasted so much time already. We're an hour in and we're just getting started. So this part, so far, seems to be very similar. But it looks like maybe there's more detail to the fort itself. Oh, my bodyguards were dispelled. Oh, they ran off to fight those guys. That's why they're not with me. Alright, let's bring in the full army and really see them go to work on these guys. We should have 32 of our bodyguards running around the island now. Where's the other? There it is. They all seem to have fallen into the water. Let's recall 1 unit for these guys.
Gotcha.
Alright, let's use 1 unit at a time. Resetting whenever I have encounters, personally.
Gotcha.
I just want to see what happens if you attack one of them.
Gotcha.
Okay, they all start attacking me. Okay, let's just see what happens if I bring in another unit. Do they start defending me?
Gotcha.
They fight each other. Okay. So, if I attack one by accident, the whole unit turns on me. But if I bring out another unit, the other unit starts defending me. Interesting. Okay, this is the good unit. They're not attacking me. But of course, if I reset the spell, it doesn't matter. So, we've cleared out this area, so let's take them out only when needed, so that they don't go running off and falling into the water again. Alright, let's begin running toward the main fortress itself.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Oh, I'm paralyzed. It's not letting me move. Alright. There's some kind of undead wizard shooting at us.
Gotcha.
Okay, those Twilights appear to be distracted. Let's reset them. It's cool how some of the skeletons are wearing the armor, but it doesn't actually let me loot them for some reason. I don't know why the Twilights keep running over there when the guys attacking me are over here.
Gotcha.
Oh, you know what? They're trying to attack the archers up on the towers. That's why they keep running away from me. Let's see if I can go for the archers with my flying ring.
Gotcha.
I can't get close to these guys. Hopefully the Twilights can find their way. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with my bodyguards. Why do they keep flying away from this group?
Gotcha.
Let's reset everybody again. It's a little overkill, but they keep running away. Okay, so they keep going after the one that's shooting magic over here.
Gotcha.
Let's try resetting again, because these guys are clearly attacking me. They keep going down there. Clearly there's not enough room for the whole army. So we'll reset a few at a time. You know, screw this. This is taking too long. We're just going to go into the castle itself. Close quarters here means that they should be able to focus on the task. We only need 1/4 strength right now, I think. I'm no longer concerned with wiping out the skeletons because we've wasted a lot of time already. And I want to get to the necromancer, so let's just explore around and see if we can see what we can find out. I do see some things that appear to be missing textures. We're not going to worry about that too much, because that can't be fixed while the game is running. The missing textures might be a cell bug. We had that in the last stream too, and it was fine when we went to another cell. If I remember correctly, we want to be going downwards, not upwards through the fort. The original fort had a big mining facility under it, and then a whole cave system. So if we can find our way to the reworked version of that, we'll be able to kind of get an idea what they've done with the place. Interesting dice. So the soldiers were playing a game when the skeletons invaded? Okay, we have unloading issue now, so this is where we had to reset the last run. Yeah, we're all sorts of bugging out right now. I think this is where we're going to call it, and we'll just try again some other time. Because it's late, and this thing is bugged out. And Stargirl's still on, so we're going to raid, actually, Sarah Mahoney is on, and she's never on when I finish raid, because she's one of the late nighters. So we're going to raid Sarah Mahoney music tonight. Have a good night. Sorry we had to crash and burn. We'll try Firemoth again later when we're not so buggy. Have a good night, and I will see you soon.